Hello, my friends. Listen closely, very closely. Here's what I think about bad investments. Okay, they're fucking terrible. You know, as you can see by the thumbnail, Barcelona is the king of bad investments, and it's a team that just doesn't quite understand. Sometimes of how to really deal with these sort of things. Give them a lot of money and they freak out. They don't know what to do, and they're just like, "Hey, we're gonna buy GameStop at 550. You're like, "Oh, you think it's gonna go higher?" Yeah, it's gonna go higher. Don't worry. And then it just fucking goes down. So, I want to talk about how bad these investments have been the past year, and I really want you to focus on the man there with the pink hair, because it all started with her friend Neymar. God, Neymar, I love you, but I hate you, man. So let's kind of go through the list of things, right? So he decides to leave in the beginning of the 2017-2018 season, right? PSG pays the 222 million transfer clause, boom, right? Barcelona freaks out. They're like, oh crap, like season's about to start. We don't have a replacement for Neymar. So what do? They buy Dembélé, right? And I believe Dembélé cost the club about 105 million euros, but there's a lot of like variable attachments to that, so I'm not sure what the total expense was or the price of this transfer, but north of 105 million, right? So that's pretty much half of the money, or maybe a little more, of the Neymar money gone to that. Then, during the, I think it was during the summer, or the winter transfer market, Coutinho joins, right? You're not gonna guess. I mean, if you'll remember, that was a pretty brutal transfer fee. 145 million, right? So right now we've already used up more than what was allocated to Neymar, what we got from Neymar, right? And these two players. I would say that Dembélé finally, I think he came over a little bit too young. He's finally starting to show his worth. Our friend Coutinho, on the other hand, has been in a steady decline ever since he came here. I mean, it's been a shit show. It's been a complete and utter shit show. And then, the following summer, we get our good friend, Antoine Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann cost the club 120 million euros. Now, by then, the Coutinho thing wasn't really working out, right? Not really, so they loaned him out to our friends Bayern Munich. And if you recall last season, who scored the last two goals, I think gave the assist or something like that at the end, at that 2-8 freaking drilling, right? I mean, pounding that Bayern Munich gave us, was our good friend Coutinho, right? So, how is it possible that a club that, year over year, they're like in the top revenue generating clubs in the world. I think the last year they were number one. How? I don't know. I really don't know. Is so deep in shit, so deep in debt, right? I think it's like $1 billion something. I mean, it's just insane how much money they've burned over the past years. And on top of that, you're paying the Messi wage, which to me, I think we pay him not enough. Given the whole situation, we don't pay him enough. The guy sustained the whole freaking team. He has no support. Without him, there's no assist, there's nothing. I mean, he does everything. So, all these bad investments, you have your biggest expense line being the salaries, right? And it's too much, right? It's way too much. So, our good friend Luck Laporta wins the elections this year. Good for him, because we need someone to kind of steady the ship. But the reality here is that he has a lot of work ahead of him. A lot of work, right? Number one is, let's see what's going to happen with Messi, right? Is Messi going to stay or is he going to leave? I hope he stays. I think everyone would agree. You need to retire this team, my friend. You need to stay. If he stays, we got to clean house with some of these players, starting with Griezmann and with Coutinho. And I think at this point, we'll take a discount just to get him off our books. The whole salary expense, everything, just get him off our books. That way we can kind of start getting some money back on these investments. And then I would like to take a look at Dembélé as well and see Dembélé, the new system, this 3-6-1 system, if that's the way we're going to be moving forward, then maybe there's not even room for Dembélé, right? If they bring in Memphis Depay, I mean, a bunch of things going on there that we may need to revisit and see like how are we going to handle that, because if we're just going to have Dembele stay on the bench, then there's no point even having him, right? Hopefully he stays. Hopefully we find a way to fit him into the system. But we'll see. But the club is in a very serious situation. When you look at other teams, I mean, I like to look at Real Madrid, right? Real Madrid right now is having a pretty similar situation to Barcelona. Not as bad, because I think Real Madrid has much liquidity and just a better ran club, right? Florentino Perez knows what he's doing day in, day out. He's the boss. He's the fucking motherfucking OG, alright? He had the balls to tell Ronaldo, hey, you know what? That's it. Like, I'm not giving you a raise. And Ronaldo left, right? He left. He wanted new challenges, whatever. He left. So, has either Real Madrid or Ronaldo done that much, done well without each other? I don't know. I mean, I think last year Real Madrid won the league, and then Ronaldo won the two Scudettos, right? So, there's some success there, but to be honest, that whole partnership achieving the Champions League, I mean, that's kind of hard to replace. It's really hard. So, I would give them like a 5 out of 10 for both, right? Not too bad, but not that great. But then you look at some of their investments, like Eden Hazard, right? Like, Eden Hazard, that poor guy, he cannot catch a break. And I think that he's going to go down as probably one of the worst signings of Real Madrid in history, because there's nothing going for him. Absolutely nothing. I mean, he gets a little bit of traction, plays 2 games, and he's out for like 4 months. So hopefully he can get that figured out. But just a lot of bad investments in La Liga, right, in the Spanish league. And it's no wonder as to why, this year you're starting to see most of the big hitting clubs just not doing that great in Europe. It's just a mess. Just a freaking mess. Somehow, Real Madrid managed to beat Atalanta, and I think Atalanta just shot themselves in the foot with those 2 matches. I mean, they really didn't go for it. And you can say that, in the away game, the guy got the red card, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, maybe. But in the home game, they weren't doing anything. It was just bad overall, and somehow this Real Madrid team, who doesn't have a lot, right? They're still utilizing the same central players, right? Like your Sergio Ramos, obviously. We have Cruz, Modric, right, and Benzema. These are the guys who are practically kind of carrying this ship forward, right? But I think what's worrying, though, is that if these teams, right, your Real Madrid, your Barcelona's, don't start to get their shit together, right, you're going to start seeing a huge drift in terms of the revenue they can generate. And slowly, right, you're going to start seeing the Premier League once again take over, and you're going to start seeing most of these clubs in Spain pushing for that Super League that supposedly should replace the Champions League, right? And let's be honest, no one gives a crap about that Super League mess. No one gives about anything about that. The only reason they would do this is to make more money, right? There is no prestige in that. It's essentially just like, alright, who's been in the Champions League the most? Alright, the top 3 teams that we all know, blah, blah, blah. Real Madrid, Barcelona, maybe put Atletico Madrid there, maybe put Valencia in there. I don't know, right? And in Serie A, Milan, Inter, Juventus, and I don't know, maybe you put Roma or Napoli. I don't know, right? This wet dream that all of these billionaires have of having this Super League so they can make a ton of money, right? But this is just a result of mismanagement funds, right? When you're mismanaging funds, you have to rely on these stupid ideas. And then I can really imagine the players having to deal with another set of who knows how many games that's going to be, right? On top of a already pretty packed schedule. So, it's a mess. Bad investments all over the place. I think we should really look at our good friends at Bayern Munich, right? I think the Bundesliga is probably one of the leagues with most well-managed clubs, one of the best managed leagues in the world. You don't see these sort of messes. You don't see, Bayern Munich going to buy X player for 300 million euros. You don't see that, right? You don't see that. So they don't go crazy with it. And we could learn a lot from that. We really could. Because I think right now, with how bad some of these other teams are, right, it's just not looking good. And I think that you're going to start seeing German teams just going up there and just kicking ass for a while, right? Just for a while. Putting things in perspective, right? A Sevilla team that is okay, not that great. I think they were 4th in the Spanish league. Got, crushed by I wouldn't say crushed, but got beat by Borussia Dortmund, right? Yeah, they have Holland, yeah, but it kind of shows you that a team that is not doing that great in their own league, right, as is Borussia Dortmund, was still managed to pretty much crush, I wouldn't say crush, but beat well Sevilla, who is fourth, right? And who is for the first time in a while like kind of fighting for the league, right? So you're seeing these type of dynamics when you have a team that can't even do that great in their own league, but has enough skills and quality to destroy another team that's doing pretty well on themselves in their own league. So it just goes to show you that this is why we love the sport. Some of these things aren't predictable, but I think if we keep seeing this sort of dynamic pushing forward, most of these teams won't have a future in the Spanish league, right? There's no future there. We have to fix this shit. How? Man, stop wasting your money they give you, man. And I think Florentino Perez from the Real Madrid side will probably take a look and say, you know what, Sergio? Because I know he's asking for money. You know what? I can't give it to you, buddy. Can't give it to you. I don't know how old Sergio Ramos is. I think he's like mid-30s. Like, you're going to have to look elsewhere and, start to loosen up some of those pockets, because there's just no way that some of these teams can continue paying this amount of money, especially with the pandemic going on. It's impossible to sustain this cash flows, man. It's impossible. So, bad investments overall. It's bad. I think they were even saying for Barcelona that to look for more liquidity, they were looking into investments from Goldman & Sachs. Let me tell you, if at any point you are considering receiving a helping hand, put that in air quotes, from Goldman & Sachs as an investment, like you're pretty much done for, I think, because those guys are killers. You think they're gonna find a way to own this club, and there it goes. That's it. One of the oldest clubs in the world with rich history is now part of a freaking portfolio of investments from Goldman Sachs. So I feel bad for Joan Laporta. He has a lot of work to do, and there's really no clear path to sustainability. So hopefully he figures something out. He's gonna have to pack his bags and go on a sales trip. He's gonna have to go across all the world, and if we have to plaster a bunch of names on our shirts, think about it. A couple years ago, was it 2011? I think the last time that we had. We didn't have any shirt sponsors, right? We actually had UNICEF, which we would give money to UNICEF, right? Ever since then, my friends, it's just been a shit show, right? We had Qatar Airways, Qatar Foundation, Rakuten, I don't know what else. Who's to say now we're not going to have Disney Plus, just layered there right below there. OPEC, why not? Bring it back. And in the back, Halliburton, right? Lockheed Martin, huh? On the socks, on the shoes, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be a complete sell just to sustain this, and that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck. Losing your identity just to sustain it because of really very bad investments in the past. What a mess. So here's your fingers crossed that people empowered, do things right, that we don't waste money, and that if we can't buy them, my friends, that's what we have the youth system for. It's right there. We already invest a lot of money into that. Why not just leverage it? I mean, that's what makes the most sense. And then hopefully we'll get another golden generation of players from the youth system that will, with big balls, show up and be like, hey, you know what? F you, give me the ball. I'm going to score the goal. Boom, 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 goal. I mean, just give them a chance, man, because if we don't have money, it's what we're going to have to do. That's what we're going to have to do. Alright guys, I don't want to spend much more time here. I have to go poop. Have a great one. Let this sink in. And if you have any comments, leave them in the bottom there, and hit that like button if you like it. If you don't, it's okay. I'll probably be a little bit annoyed that you disliked it. But hey, it's life, man. You can't make everybody happy, right? Alright. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye.